Hi, my name is Spongebob, or as some people like to call me, the exception to all lives matter. You may remember that in the Friday the 13th episode of Animal Logic, link in the description below, me, Evan Fant, Kermit the Frog, Rex the Dinosaur, Kevin the Minion, and Big Bird were all murdered by Jason Voorhees. So you're probably wondering, how am I standing right here to do this episode? Well, I'll tell you. I met the devil, and as an exchange to live, he said that I had to do part 3 of Movie Marathon Madness, the Spongebob specials, and talk about Atlantis SquarePantis and Truth or Square. So the choice was Eternal Damnation, or spend 40 minutes to watch an episode of SpongeBob. I picked Eternal Damnation, but Satan thought that watching SpongeBob would be more suffering, so screw it. I guess we're watching it anyway. Oh, and that's also how everyone else was alive anyway. Play the intro. Well, I've been avoiding this for months now, but it's finally time for it. Atlantis SquarePantis is sometimes referred to as the episode that killed SpongeBob. Sure, there were some bad episodes before this, but many people often point to this episode as the day that SpongeBob died. It's about SpongeBob and Patrick wanting to find a bubble that will last all day. So they find an amulet for the lost city of Atlantis, and they take it to the Bikini Bottom Museum, where Mr. Krabs, Squidward, and Sandy just so happen to be there, along with the other half of an amulet. They put the amulet pieces together, and a van arrives to take them to the lost city of Atlantis. And what follows is just a bunch of filler and really bad songs, which resulted in nothing more than just a Willy Wonka ripoff. This episode feels like dead air. They barely had enough story material to cram them into an 11-minute episode, let alone an hour-long special like this. And one of those ways of filler are the musical numbers. Now, here's the thing. The SpongeBob voice actors were never known for being spectacular singers, but they definitely did put a lot of effort and passion into their performances. Here, though, they act like they just want to get it over with so that they can get a paycheck. And what's even stupider is that they had David Bowie be a guest star in this episode. You had David Bowie, an actual singer, in your musical episode, and you don't give him a song. What the frick? Much like the other bad specials that we talked about, the best thing about this episode are the Patchy segments. Patchy's hometown of Encino is lost, so Patchy's just surviving in the desert, and he even hallucinates a weird-looking SpongeBob. But it turns out that Encino wasn't lost, it was just shrunken by aliens. Okay. But regardless of the patchy segments, Atlantis SquarePantis is still a bore, and easily the worst episode that we have covered so far. But here's the thing. We still have even more bad episodes to come. And this entire video is filled with them, so strap in, folks. In this episode, SpongeBob learns about his great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, Spongebob, and on how he saved the town of Dead-Eye Gulch from the evil Dead-Eye. This episode surprisingly wasn't that half bad. I expected going into this to be one of the bad ones, but no, I actually thought it was decent. I like the Old West theme. It's very rare that we get westerns in children's media or animation in general. Now, even though this doesn't go full-out western, there's no gun duels or anything, it still is a decent, fun little western. Now, is it really a good episode? I don't don't know. I think it fits more into the okay category. Even though these are technically different characters, the characters do stay true to themselves and they act appropriately in a Western setting. Oh, and instead of using Sandy, they used Mrs. Puff as their standard female character. Because, they remembered that Sandy is from Texas and wouldn't appear in Bikini Bottom's Western past. Unlike some pieces of SpongeBob media. Overall, the episode is okay at best. Not the best episode that the show has to offer, and certainly not the most memorable. But after watching Atlantis SquarePantis, okay is a blessing. SpongeBob manages to piss everybody off, and in return he gets called an idiot boy by just about everyone. So he decides to run away from Bikini Bottom. Then he gets amnesia and becomes the mayor of what? Okay, oh my god. This has the exact same problem as the lost episode. Everyone being mean to SpongeBob for no reason. In the opening, it seems incredibly out of character for these people to call SpongeBob an idiot boy. And SpongeBob having amnesia serves no point to the story at all, because he acts the exact same way either way. So what is even the point of having SpongeBob get amnesia? I feel like I watched 22 minutes of nothing. In fact, the only thing that anybody really remembers from this episode is this face for how disturbing and ugly it is. So SpongeBob ends up staying at a place called New Kelp City, where blowing bubbles is deemed stupid scary because of a gang called the Bubble Popping Gang, who popped the bubbles, get people whenever they blow bubbles. Oh my god, this is stupid. This episode is stupid. Everything about it is just dumb. This is just a dumb episode, man. I'm not even going on a script or anything. Wow, none of the characters that SpongeBob meet are memorable. SpongeBob shouldn't even have amnesia to begin with. Like, what is even the point? Oh god. Next one. SpongeBob, Patrick, Mr. Krabs, Squidward, and Sandy all get stranded on various different places. SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward on a deserted island with a bunch of college dropouts. Mr. Krabs in the Bermuda Triangle near Davy Jones's locker. Oh, and the Flying Dutchman is there. He's the best part of the episode. And Sandy gets deserted on a completely different island where she managed to build a hotel and even a coffee shop before actually deciding to build a helicopter to get out of there. In order to get back to Bikini Bottom, SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward try to learn how to surf by this buff-looking tan dude voiced by Johnny Depp. But it seems that Johnny Depp is no help and is very vague with his advice on how to surf. Although SpongeBob and Patrick get it down quite well. But their training comes to an end when it turns out that SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward have to ride an enormous wave known as the Big One in order to get home. Which is just a normal tidal wave with a face. This episode is packed to the brim with filler. And really, Sandy has no point being here at all. Her plot doesn't really add much to the episode. Although Mr. Krabs and the Flying Dutchman arguing is still a little fun, if not necessary at all. But here's the thing, the episode is boring. There's a completely pointless montage of just SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward just rowing the surfboards over stream. Like, they're not even doing anything funny. We just see the surfboards just across the stream. So yeah, There's a lot of the slow, dry, fillery boredom that accompanies a lot of season 6 episodes. The only really memorable parts of this episode are, once again, Mr. Krabs and the Flying Dutchman's banter, and a scene where the Flying Dutchman gets sent to Davy Jones's locker. But it's Davy Jones from the Monkees, and he's throwing socks at the Flying Dutchman in a locker room locker while Daydream Believer is playing. But at the end of the day, this episode is still just, again, 22 minutes of nothing. They were desperately trying to fill that 22 minutes, and this clearly just should have been 11 minutes. Don't watch it. It'll be a waste of your time. Just skip it. I can't do it. I don't know if you guys have noticed. We're in season 6 now. Do you know what is in season 6 of SpongeBob? One of, if not, the worst episode in the show's history. I know I had this nervous of a breakdown back in part 2. But seriously, guys, we are getting to the unholy little brother of Atlantis SquarePantis. And I did not like that episode. So, I guess we're gonna have to up in the DVD player soon. Wait a minute. I took the last couple months off. Next month is December. Okay. Take December off. But in January, I have to look at this episode. Just this episode. Ba